Welcome back to the Wolf of Queen Street podcast series. But today's episode, Duken Williams, Niue's first ever Commonwealth Games medalist for boxing or medal in any sport, won it last year at the 2022 Games for heavyweight boxing. Such an achievement for a small country, what it means to the people, but also for Duken yourself, being so young, that opportunity to go over there. And I thought I'd bring you onto the show to have a little chat about that experience, how you got into it, and just sort of your life and boxing going further. So Duken, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
It's awesome, man. So talk me through how did the Commonwealth Games come into it? So obviously, you must have been around boxing and training and stuff.
Yeah.
How did that play out?
So I've always had a dream of going to the Commonwealth Games, but by chance I happened to join a new gym at the start of 2022. Within like 2 to 3 weeks of training there, a guy that's already been to the Commonwealth Games for Niue, asked my coach at the time, Lolo Hemu, to train him.
Yep.
And then me and one other Niuean boxer happened to be at that gym. So this guy that's come from another gym had asked our coach to take him for the games. And our coach knew that we were Niuean, me and the two other guys. And he goes, do you guys want to go for Niue? And I was like, yeah, all day. And then from there, the rest was history.
So that must have been, what age were you last year?
24 last year.
24 last year. So that must
23. I turned 24 last year.
Yeah. So 23 at that time. So that must have been, pretty cool. So obviously get the training in and all the rest of it. And then was there still selections, or, they saw what you had and they could send you over?
Yeah, like we were the only Niuean boxers at that time. So who else were they going to take? Yeah.
So and then you put your hand up and went across, and talk me through, 23-year-old Commonwealth Games, get in there, seeing all of that. How was that?
It wasn't a tough road. To start off was like first having a new coach, and then my first fight in almost over a year, I had New Zealand Nationals. So that's based in New Zealand. I happened to win that, but when was that? That was in April. And after I won, I had a shoulder injury, which was like really bad. I didn't know how bad it was. We thought it was just like a minor shoulder injury. 6 weeks go by, I fly over to Australia, fight who did I fight? I fought the Queensland state champ, beat him. And then come back about 4 weeks before we fly to England for the games. I'm like, man, my shoulder's still sore. And then I actually go get MRI done, CT scan, and then they're like, there's only one way to fix it, and that's surgery. So you can either pull out and get your surgery done and fix it now, or you can just go to the games and fight with your sore shoulder. And I was like, nah, man, I put in too much work this whole year to quit now. I'll just go off my shoulder. And then, And then,
you went in there, you won your quarterfinals. Got yourself in. And then obviously straight in the games, it works at once in boxing. Once you get in the semis, it's automatic bronze, from that stuff. How was that feeling, coming through the quarterfinals and going like, holy shit, I've got myself, a medal?
It was crazy that it happened because of just everything that I had gone through before that, leading up to it. So when I got it, everybody was like so stoked because I won a medal. But I was like to myself, nah, I didn't come here for a medal. Yeah. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna keep going. I could have easily given up, but nah, I went for gold. Didn't get it. But
You still went with that that mentality of I'm not here just to give it a go. You want to go all the way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And off the back of that, from that experience, you're going to go again, or are you going to turn pro now? What's your thoughts?
So I just had surgery in October. So I had surgery in October. My shoulder's still healing. I'll probably have 2 or 3 amateur fights before the end of this year, and then in December maybe set up my first pro fight. So big news coming.
And which class? Which still heavyweight?
No. So I only fought at heavyweight because the guy in my team, he fought at 81.
Oh yeah.
So I either go to 75 or 92, and I was like, nah, man, I'll stay at 92.
So like 20 kgs. Like I'll stay the chunky one, right? I'll stay the big one.
I didn't have to lose no weight. I didn't have to cut no weight. I could eat whatever I wanted. Not saying that I was. Yeah.
Cool. So when you think you go pro, where do you think you're going to end up? What weight?
Probably light heavy for sure.
Yeah,
81.
81.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice class there, right?
Yeah.
A lot of speed, but could you hold quite a bit of power yourself, right?
Yep.
So that
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
So coming back off the Commonwealth Games, how was it coming back here? I mean, you're a Greyland local, right?
Yep.
How was it coming back into the community and all of that? How was that experience?
It was like, man, to be honest, if I'm honest, when I came back from the games till about probably 2 months ago, but my life went downhill straight up.
Why is that?
When I came back, I never had time to really process everything.
Mm-hmm.
I started drinking every weekend.
You thought you're the man, right?
Yeah, I thought I was the man, and I was hiding. I was running from my true self.
Yeah.
So I'd be out every weekend, sometimes during the week. I'd lie to myself and tell myself, nah, it's all right. I'm injured. I can't do nothing. When really I could have been doing other things to like better myself. But coming back though, like heaps of people were like my family, friends, the community, they were all so like happy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're very close with your community, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're very close. I know you've done some video series talking through the walk through the Greyland and all that. And, everyone knows where you're at and stuff like that. So, so talk me through. So, you said you went down the wrong hole off the back of it.
Yeah.
How did you realize, how did you get out? How did you get to a better place and hopefully in the direction you're going now?
So probably the end of January, I was in a relationship, but I went out one night, got caught cheating. And then like from there, everything kind of like spiraled down. It was like, so I broke up with my girl at the time. I had no car. I had no money coming in. And then I just lost the lease on my apartment too. So like from there, everything was gone. So once everything was gone, I had to like really do some like looking within and then telling myself like, how did I get here? And then so from the start of February, it's like I just started working on myself, picking myself back up, and then I'm still working on myself now. But like I'm past that place now. I'm in a better place. Yeah, I'm in a better place now. But yeah, like you said, when I did come back, I thought I was the man, and then I just
you lost your way.
Lost pretty much.
Do you think you lost your? Is it just that you didn't have? I know you've got your crew, all the boys over. Is it that you didn't have a strong enough guidance there for someone to pull you in line? Or was, because I know 23, 24, I can remember my time at that stuff. It's all like, oh, it's awesome coming back.
Yeah.
And do you think that if you had someone like a stronger presence, a guidance father, like within the crew, not saying, that said, hey, hold on, slow down, you think that would have helped, or you just told them to fuck off?
Definitely would have. Maybe if I did have someone like that, but from where I'm from and the people I've been around with, it's like no one's really done what I've done, so they wouldn't know any better. So kind of, it's not their fault. I'm not blaming them, but it's like they wouldn't know, so then they wouldn't feel
obliged
to tell me, because they don't know. And I would probably, me at the time, if they were to tell me, I would be like, bro, you don't know shit. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't look for anyone to try to tell me, because then I would tell myself, like, nah, it's my fault. I don't look to anyone to point the finger at, but anyone but the man in the mirror.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, and massive congrats. Okay, not massive congrats of going the wrong way in that, but massive congrats of having that realization in January and slowly moving forward.
Yeah,
it's a big thing in our community of men within our community to be able to understand that and the challenges we go through, and then most of us get lost, right? A lot of guys don't come back, don't realize, stay down that rabbit hole, and it doesn't end well,
Yeah, because you can either, like, I see it as like you either go this way or you go that way.
Yeah.
You either go down the same road and get nowhere and end up in like a life full of darkness for the rest of your life, or you can go the hard way, fix yourself, pick yourself back up, and you'll reach a better place in your life. So it's either, I look at it as like you either go this way, you go that way. The choice is yours.
Yeah. And I love how you say it's the hard way, but you end up to a great life.
Yeah.
Because that's the sort of stuff of sometimes why people stay down their path, because it's easy.
It's easy. Yeah.
I'm going to stay down the easy path. I'm going to do the same shit. I'm going to get into the same trouble. I'm going to drink, I'm going to not care about the world or whatever.
Yeah.
But because over here it's harder, but not realizing that if I do 30 days or 60 days or 90 days hard, the benefit to my life later on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely what you just said. And that's like what's happened in my life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and what's the sort of next steps? Like you said, you're obviously recovering with surgery. Where do you see the next 3 to 6 months on that journey of you from your sort of like your mental health side of things?
Yeah. So my mental health, like I told probably about a month ago, I made like the decision to myself to like any dream, or not dreams, but like any goals past any goals that I have, I'm not going to be worried about any of that. Like this next 3 months of me recovering is just going to be spent on me, like not fixing my life or bettering my life, bettering myself as a person. I'm not going to try better myself as a boxer. I'm just going to better myself as like a man, as a son, as a father, as a friend. That's all I'm going to work on.
Yeah, that is so true. There's a famous saying out there, Duken, about today I want to change. Today I have a realization I want to change the world, but tomorrow I'm smarter and realizing that I only have to change myself.
Yeah,
and that we don't need to change the world to make a difference. If we change ourselves, everything will be a big difference.
Yeah, that's true, because like it all starts within.
Yeah, like,
and the way you treat other people is like the way you treat yourself. It's self-projecting. I see it as self-projecting. It's like if you're right within yourself, respectful within yourself, love yourself, you'll be like that to other people. So what is it? Yeah, so you're self-projecting. So that way, like you said, if you fix yourself, everything out, the world is, I'd say it's like perfect to you when you fix yourself.
That's awesome. And how's your crew, your family, everyone else? Is everyone supportive of this journey that you're going on? Are you helping any of the other boys out or anyone else that's struggling as well?
Kind of not anymore. Like last year too, like I lost a lot. I still have respect and love for the guys I was with, but I no longer like move with them.
Yep.
Now it's just like solely focused on me, and then me being at home now with my parents is like. My parents are getting old, like they're 52, 53. They're not going to be here for much longer. I want to spend as much time as I can with them. Yeah, and that's so when I was hanging out with all these guys, I was never hanging out with my family, my parents, the people who actually mattered the most and were actually there from the beginning and who probably needed it. But I chose to be with other people that weren't really going to be in my life forever. So now I've cut that out and I'm just focused on my family.
That's amazing. It's amazing to see that, and full respect to you, brother. So,
thank you.
So now that you're recovering everything else, you still go down to the gym at all? Or are you still in the scene and just watching what's going on? Yeah.
So at my gym now, Hurt Locker, I train them myself. I train myself, but there's about 6 or 7 young college boys from Kings and St. Peter's. And it's like, I see my way now is, now that I've got this time and I'm working on myself, I want to be able to spread my knowledge. And so I feed it to these dudes. I feed it to these kids and I help them, teach them. Like, I want them to be fighters. I want them to be good fighters, but also train them to be good people at the same time.
Respect, brother. That's amazing. Because I was going to say, do you see your old version in any of them? Because this is where you can look back and go, hey, don't do that. I was that asshole, don't do that. Right?
What do you mean?
No, from these guys, obviously some of them you might be able to see that that's the way you were in your old ways, and you can actually guide them to say, stay off that path.
Yeah, definitely. There's some guy, they've only just started. They've had about 2 sparring sessions. One of them he had his second sparring session last Friday. He started crying, talking smack, and I was just like, man, this guy, I was like, nah, he's good though, because he reminds me of myself. Yeah. He was like, he wanted to get back in the ring. He was like, bro, let me get back in the ring again. I was like, no, you're done. Just have a rest. Then he came back to me yesterday and he was like, nah, that was some good coaching. I was like, yeah, because I've been in that position before.
Yeah, we spoke about it off air before we started. Everyone thinks they can fight till someone hits you in the nose, right? I've climbed the ring. Well, I was talking to Duken off air about, my fight, and I've been around the boxing game for many years, and I love it and always that. But everyone's like, yeah, good. Until you get in the ring, with 2 dudes or 2 girls or whatever the situation is, and some dude hits you straight in the nose. Until that happens, you can't tell me you think you can fight, because it's at that moment you realize going, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You go, what the fuck
and
am I doing?
no matter how good, no matter if you Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Tyson Fury, at some stage, some dude's going to smack you right through the face.
Yeah, and you're going to ask yourself that question, what the fuck am I doing? Do I still want to do this?
Yeah.
Or you're going to be like, fuck, okay, nah, you know what? I'm going to take this shit seriously.
Yeah, that's funny because, so I've trained for many years, and then I would climb in the ring before my surgery and everything else. And my wife as well, she's exceptionally good on the pads and whatever. Yep. And when we were training, her coaches kept telling her she needs to climb in and fight. And she always turns around and she's gone, no, I've got no inclination to hit someone else in the face. But they're like actual legit coaches that coach a lot of the guys in the scenes at the moment. They're like, no, you got to fight. You've got the power, you got the speed and everything else. And she was just like, no, I love the pad work. I love the fitness side of it. Yeah. I just don't have that in me, right? Yeah. Where to me, I was like, yeah, I want to get in the ring, and then get humbled really, really quickly. So, I remember, my coach was a guy called Asher Derbyshire. He's out in Wellington. He's in Wellington. He's got a couple of fight gyms. I think he won the cruiserweight title for New Zealand a good few years ago. Yeah. And I remember with him, he used to have like this I would say this handbag hand. So he'd always hang his right hand just lower down when we're doing the sparring. But I was well aware because he would step up and I would call it the handbag hand, and he would just swing this. Yeah. And if you didn't see this handbag come in, dude, you were fucking lights out.
What do you swing at full power to? Full power.
Full power when we're sparring. So we had we would, when we were getting ready for our fight, myself, the other heavyweight, and then there was a cruiserweight. So the 3 guys, we would jump in with Ash in the round, and we'll do like 1 minute in, 1 minute out, right? Yep. You know how you do these. And he stays in because obviously he's a pro fighter and he can handle all that. And I remember the other heavyweight that was with me, a proper size heavyweight. So he was 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, and it wasn't too bad. And he tried to go at Asher, and Asher swung one of these and hit this dude, and he was sitting on the bottom rope. He was just sitting there, and this is sparring practice.
Was he out cold, sleeping?
Almost out cold, right? He said, hit him down there. I had to go over to pick him up and take him out and go, okay, you done for today. And this is my coach trying to go, cool, we've got to handle it. So yeah, it was great for my training, but that's when you had that realization. And I mean, you must have seen it, like dudes that have power and dudes that have real skill.
Yeah, man, yeah. And you have to appreciate and almost watch out too, because if you're not careful, bro, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. And then, another funny one with me was like with my training and everything. And again, when I was training for my fight, Asher would call guys in after the session, guys just off the floor. And then I was doing a late evening session, and there was a guy that had come join the boxing class, just like the basic pad work. And
was he a new guy?
He'd been around, but he'd just come from the pub. So he was down at the pub, had a couple of beers, come down to sweat out the beers in the gym.
Could you smell him?
I knew. He said he had a couple of beers, but I was at the end of my session. He jumps in to do a bit of sparring with me, and this is where it was like that humbling thing, right? It's that humbling thing of boxing. He would have come in
like no fear, though, because he's been drinking.
You're right, no fear. Confident. And so I'm standing there 6-8 weeks, dedicated, real focus. I mean, I've been training for about a year before that, so I'm like, cool, I'm on point. I know what I'm doing. This guy rocks up in the ring, couple of beers in, I think nothing.
Nah, he didn't give a fuck.
And I couldn't get him. And because he was a bit taller, a bit longer, he had the reach, and he was just a lot looser. Yeah. And he got me so many times, and I couldn't get to him. And I climbed out the ring and went, what the hell? This dude's been at the pub. Doesn't give a shit about boxing. I'm training like twice a day for like, months on end, and I couldn't get to this guy. And that's the weird thing about boxing, right? That you've got to learn.
Yeah, and I think it comes with patience too.
Yeah.
Like you can't lose your shit just because that happened.
Yeah.
Just wait and get them back the next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, they talk about being it's a sweet science, right? They always say boxing's got the sweet science, and from the outside in, you're looking and going, what do you mean it's a science? And this is, as you speak to any fighter, whatever weight class is, they have this full respect and understanding that there is a science to it of, like you said, don't lose your cool. keep your control,
Yeah.
understanding your distances between people, understanding where you can come in when you got to fight from the outside. And there's a whole lot of smarts behind it that people don't realize. They just look at two guys in the ring going, oh, these two guys just
Jump in and throw punches.
they got no brains and they're just jumping in and trying to slug it out, guys or girls, right? Whether it's on that side of it. But there's actually so much behind the thought pattern, right?
Yep. There's just like it's what is it? It's like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we spoke about Hemi, right? Hemi, I mean, he would be one of the hardest punchers in New Zealand boxing.
No, he is the hardest. He is the hardest puncher.
But he's again a small heavyweight.
Yeah.
Right. So he's a David Tua-esque vibe, right? So he is also a very smart boxer because he knows he's got the power, but it means he's got to come in, right?
Yeah.
To utilize it. And I mean, some of the fights he's fighting 6'4", 6'5" guys.
Didn't he fight Julius Long? He's like 7 foot.
Isn't he 7 foot?
6'11" or
6'11" or something.
Yeah.
And so there's 10 inches, 10 or 11 inches easily. And he took him, right?
Yeah, he knocked him out.
Yeah.
I was there at that fight ringside.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Such a height difference.
Yeah, but I've learned from the boxing game is like size isn't. I used to think size mattered, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Oh, it depends. If you're the real good boxer, real good tall boxer will beat the real short good boxer. But size doesn't matter. If you got the skills and you're fighting some taller dude who doesn't have the same amount of skills as you, you'll beat him. Yeah.
Unless he's Tyson Fury.
Huh?
Unless he's Tyson Fury.
Oh, I good to see him and him and Yusuke aren't fighting, eh?
Yeah. That's gonna be
No, they're not fighting.
Oh, they're not. They cancel it.
Yeah, apparently something happened.
Oh no, man. Because that'll be an interesting one because there's a total height difference between Usyk and Fury. There's quite a bit of a height.
Yeah, you'll see the skill levels. You'll see the skill level come out. See where they're at with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on a guy that's, you look at Wilder, one of the hardest punchers in the world. It's 6'6", 6'7". Fury's same sort of 6'7". What did he go in the ring at? Like 300, some ridiculous amount of weight.
300 pounds.
300 pounds. And the amount of movement he has and how he can move and keep on his feet at that size. I mean, it's just phenomenal, right?
Yeah, I think if you're like Tyson Fury, who's been doing it all his life, putting on like a couple extra 100 pounds or that's not gonna phase you. In your mind, you're still this light skinny guy that can move, tall skinny guy that can move around.
Yeah.
So when you put on like 50 pounds or 100 pounds, you still think you're that guy.
Yeah. So let's go just quickly into it. Who's your favorite boxers around the scene? Still fighting, old fighters, anyone? Who do you love?
Oh man, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson?
Nothing beats watching Tyson.
Yeah, original.
Yeah, like you watch him. He's like his mentality is go in there and kill this guy. It's not bad. Like you're not trying to really kill him.
Yeah.
But when you have like that mentality to end this guy, it's almost like a skill and an art, but a dangerous one too.
Yeah, total man. He was something different, and I mean the whole Buster Douglas, that pivot point in his path at Buster Douglas, it all went skew from off the back of that.
Yeah.
But till that point, man, he was the most feared man in the world. That guys like walked out the ring. There's a fighter that Tyson walked in, and I think the fighter was like, "Nah, I'm gone, cheers," and like fucked off. He's like, "I'm not fighting this dude," and it's just like crazy how dangerous he was.
When you mix that killer mentality with the skill that Tyson possessed.
Have you seen him still spar now? And he's pad work now. He's still super fast.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It's like with Tyson, like if you've been doing it your whole life, you put on some weight, you age, you're still gonna have that same thing. But
he is a freak though. So in a positive, like he is one of a generation. It's not everyone can be Mike Tyson, right?
No.
He's there's
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, there's no other one, right?
No.
Anyone else that's sort of a favorite for you?
Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch much of him?
Yeah, I know of David. Yeah, he's
fighting Ryan Garcia next week.
Yeah. He's ridiculous. He's just crazy, man.
Yeah, and only because he's a southpaw too.
Yeah,
I'm a southpaw.
Yeah. I always loved Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, he's great, but I think he's on his way out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, our age difference. I've watched Canelo since like day one, right?
Yeah, no, he's still a great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Got a couple of years left in him. I mean, he's Triple G, you know.
Yeah, he's Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, who else? Mayweather.
Mayweather,
yeah.
You know? Oh, look, I've been a Mayweather fan. You know, I've got about 6 or 8 of his hats at home. I've seen, you know, I went to Vegas for Mayweather Pacquiao.
Oh man,
funny enough, I ran into Israel Adesanya in Vegas for that fight week.
Yeah,
because he was supposed to fight Amir Khan. So
who was supposed to fight
Mayweather? So Mayweather fought on only 2 dates every year.
Yeah.
And so what happens is he fought his previous fight in September, or if I remember correctly. So I knew, I'm going to get my dates wrong, but I knew he was going to fight this week. I think it was in May.
September and May, is that?
Yeah, September and May was it. Yeah. So I knew the exact week that he was supposed to fight in.
Yeah.
The rumblings on the wall was he was supposed to fight Amir Khan, and there was always the outside chance that there was going to be a Pacquiao fight. So what myself and my wife was like, cool, let's go to Vegas and let's go and we booked our flights, the hotel and everything before he announced the fight. So we already paid normal prices for the flights and the accommodation for that week.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, they're like, oh, it's going to be Mayweather. And we're like, holy shit, we're going to be there. Yeah. And then we were there. We didn't go, we got offered tickets for the fight.
Yeah.
Which was
How much were they?
We got offered cheap seats right at the back at $5,000 a seat. So we were like, hell no.
Cheap seats.
$5,000 a cheap seat.
NZ or?
NZ. So it was 10 grand. It would have been 10 grand for 2 tickets for me and my wife to go watch at the back in the bleachers, right?
Yeah.
So we organized, we went to a private viewing party at an old Mike Tyson mansion in Vegas.
Yeah.
It was us, a whole lot of B, C grade celebrities in a big viewing party, booze, food and everything. And that was us. So that was like pretty awesome.
Yeah. So what were you saying when you bumped into Izzy?
Yeah. So Izzy was there that week.
Yeah.
So I ran into him and I was like, he just finished the Super 8. I think the kickboxing one.
Yeah. King of the Ring.
King of the Ring. Sorry.
Was that
no. Sorry. It was Super 8, which was boxing.
Yeah.
Yep. So he just shifted to the Super 8 boxing and he just won that before that.
Yeah.
Because he actually fought my coach, Asher Derbyshire, in one of the fights.
I know which one you're talking about.
So then I ran into Izzy. I'm like, oh, you Izzy, you just fought my coach. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And it was awesome because then he was in there and had a chat. And then, I used to play rugby with his coach, Eugene Behrman.
Yeah.
Huge used to play for Massey.
Yeah.
So I knew back in that day. And then after that, he just obviously became Izzy who he is now.
Those guys are cool guys. I used to train with them at City Kickboxing.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Yeah. I've done some sparring with Izzy too.
Yeah.
I think before his fight with Marvin Vittori.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just some boxing rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fast?
He was like real elusive and fast and quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So different, you weren't sure?
I was different too because I just finished because the boxing and kickboxing spar at the same time.
Yep.
And then MMA, they do theirs after. So I'd finish my 10 rounds and then I'd spar him. But I was good though, because then it was like I got to test myself and I got to help him and he helped me.
So, it's amazing. I've heard those boys at City Kickboxing. I heard that whole crew is just awesome and everything, right?
Yeah, they're all cool guys. They're all real genuine cool guys. And the thing about them at their gym is like, when everyone is on the same mission, like there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
you're trying to get it. You're trying to get it the same as these 10 other guys that are beside you.
Do you think anyone comes in here talking smack?
What do you mean?
At City Kickboxing, do you think boys walk off the street and go, you guys are nothing?
What do you mean?
Like there must be some guys coming in the gym and walking in and going, oh no, Izzy's shit and everything else, and I'll fuck him up and that. Do you think these boys?
Definitely. You got those guys are haters. Those guys are like those are guys. So Izzy or anyone there that's a good fighter, they're guys that are up here.
Yeah. You
got a guy down here that's trying to get his shine by jumping past all these people and trying to go straight to the top. Like, no, take a seat.
Yeah. There must have been guys at some stage, and I'm sure someone's pulled them aside and gone, okay.
Nah, those guys are haters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. Anything else you wanna, anything else that's important to you at the moment?
Doing Ramadan at the moment.
Huh?
Doing Ramadan. Yeah. So it feels real good because it feels like it's a cleanse of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Normally I'd be shoving food in my body all the time.
Yeah.
Training is hard, but now that I'm not eating as much, my mind's a lot more clearer, and I have better thinking. I have better thinking about things now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a clearer mind.
So how long you been on that path?
So
you're doing Ramadan, you're saying at the moment, and has that always been your way in religious ways and the rest?
No. So growing up, my family was a Christian family. I went to a Catholic college, but I kind of came across it in probably late 2018, early 2019. It was kind of like a thing I felt within myself was like, when you walk into a church, I'm not talking about all of it, but like a Catholic or Christian church, you walk in, you see people in the church, and this is my truth of it. It's like you get some people who are not really welcoming. They kind of just look at you and then just keep carrying on with the thing. Whereas people in the Muslim community, they were much more greeting and friendly, and like that made me feel
at home.
I was like, this feels like what feels right to me. It's like, that's what felt right to me.
Oh, it's amazing. Like, it's everyone goes on their own path, and everyone should, find a place that's their home, right?
Yeah.
Irrespective of where you sit in those towers of what religion, non-religion, and everything else. And that's amazing. And I'm happy that that's the place that you found.
Yeah. I didn't disrespect any other religion. Like if you're Catholic, Christian, whatever, I believe that all Allah, God, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Like you have your faith in your God. I have faith in like my God. We just call him a different name.
Yeah.
I don't hate on nobody. As long as everybody believes in God, that's like, that's so good with me.
Yeah.
But if you're I don't know, atheist or someone that believes in the devil, fuck, I can't stand you. Like I can't stand you. Well, not can't stand you, but like I wouldn't feel like I would have common ground with you. But do you believe in God? Sure, you must.
Oh, now we're getting into an interesting question. I don't normally talk religion, but let me say this. I'm more of an evolutionist.
Yeah.
Right. So I believe in the.
Yeah, what is that?
So that means that the world has been around longer, and we've evolved from. So if you go back to the Christian beliefs, there was no Adam and Eve. We've evolved from a single cell organism to animals, into monkeys, into humans. Yeah. So that's evolution, right? So I believe in more of a science and being able to see stuff like a tangible and believe. But I've also been around enough. I've also experienced enough in the world that understanding that there might be bigger things than what I resonate with, right? Yeah. So that's what works with me. So I'll be an idiot to say, hey, it's this or that.
Yeah.
So I'm more further down the line of going, hey, I'm not religious I don't go to church.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of Friday Christian when kids were youngsters. I got kicked out and got told don't come back because I was a naughty shit. So I don't go to church. A lot of times I don't even go to family funerals because it's just I don't like being in churches.
Yeah.
So I'm more on the other side, but I'm not as far extreme to go, hey,
that's wrong.
It's wrong that you've got wrong that you've got a God and I don't. Yeah. I don't have that sort of stuff. So funny enough, I joke that I believe in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And what SpongeBob is, I don't know, but I call him SpongeBob. And so I joke that if something happens in the world to me and there is something there, it's SpongeBob. And that's my system.
Yeah.
Whether that be God, Jesus, Allah, whoever it is, so be it. But to me, that's sort of my little weird, quirky way of there might be, and I'm not naive enough to say that it's not. Yeah. But I don't go all the way yes, and I don't go all the way no.
Yeah. See, like that's what I would like agree with too. It's like, yeah, you have your belief on that. I'm not going to say that that's wrong because it might be true, and you're not going to say that that's wrong because it might be true. No one's right. No one's right at the end of the day. Everyone has their own beliefs, and I believe no one should be judged or criticized or kicked down or shamed because of what they believe in.
No, and that's a dark hole. That's a big and dark hole for us to go down, down that wall. But it's great and full respect, brother, that you got your piece and you fully respect everyone else, and I love that. Yeah. That you found your place. in the religion, and you fully respect everyone else. And that's, it's stuff that we more need, that the indifference, like you're different to me and I respect you and you respect me, and that's something we need wider in the community. So big props to you. Yeah,
like I said, it all starts within. Like, you respect that person for their beliefs and what they decide to do with their life. You would expect them to do the same for you too.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for that, Duken. And man, as we get to the end today, so if anyone's sort of interested to come see what you're about or seeing any, where you're at, any of your training, where can people find out more about you or see you at?
You can message me on Instagram. My username is Duken Williams, or at my gym in Greyland, Herlocker, 606 Great North Road.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you want to get in contact with me, message me about anything, just do that. Most people out there know me, they will recognize me, say what's up, and like that stuff. I appreciate that stuff.
That's awesome, man. Thanks, Duken, for coming on to the show, and to everyone else, thanks for coming over to the Wolf of Queenship podcast. And as always, as I say, if there's something that resonated or what Duken had to say today, take it in, have a listen. If there's someone else that could learn from it, if there's someone that's interested in what his story has to go through, how he's learned, coming off being the first Commonwealth medalist for a country and then falling off the back of that, and then having the humility and understanding of needing to change his life. We live in a society that we see this all the time. So there's a really amazing story there. And if you know someone or yourself is going through it, please reach out to Duken, because just his experiencing right now, he's just gone through it, can help you out and can guide you in those points. But as always, stay beautiful, stay powerful, and hope to see you next time.